Stewart gained fame from his legendary role in Star Trek: The Next Generation as Professor Charles Xavier in the X-Men movies. But now, Stewart is heading into very different territory. He stars in the new comedy. It's called Blunt Talk. He plays a personally dysfunctional but well-intentioned British journalist looking to conquer American cable news.
Last night, I promised our viewers I would tell them the truth. Now, this freakish storm is the perfect backdrop for talking about what we are doing to the environment.
But the truth about climate change is devastating, Walter. No one wants to hear we're committing mass suicide.
Exactly. So let's also give them hope. I might have died last night. From now on, I want to be in the hope business.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that hope and truth go together very well.
Just start Googling and see if there is any hope out there that might also be true.
Patrick Stewart, good morning to you.
Good morning,
bravo,
Gail.
sir. Listen, I got the episodes, and I was just going to watch half of one to be polite, just so I could get a sense of you. I ended up watching 4. It is laugh out loud funny. So tell us about Walter Blunt, where he came from. Starting with the name.
Well, I had been working with Jonathan Ames, who is our executive producer, showrunner, creative genius on this show. And one day he said to me, we've got to give a name to this guy. We can't call him or he all the time. He said, are there any names that, that resonate for you? He likes to combine famous names. And I said, not at all, except the one name I've used as my pseudonym for decades now, Walter Blunt, because he was the first character that I ever played with the Royal Shakespeare Company, a very minor and rather boring role in Henry IV, Part 1. And Jonathan emailed right back and said, but that's perfect, and the show will be called Blunt Talk.
Right.
So now there he is, and we are hoping, of course, the name will become as famous as Walter White has become.
I think so. And back in the day, you were a reporter, but you said you used to make up things.
Oh, dear. My first job when I left school, I was very lucky to get a job on my local newspaper, a weekly paper, and I had a little area and neighborhood that I covered, but mostly I did births, deaths, and marriages and council meetings. But I was also rehearsing a great deal with a lot of amateur theatrical companies in the evenings, which clashed with my work as a reporter. So I would have somebody else write pieces for me. I would have them cover for me. I would make phone calls when the event was over, or I made it up.
Oh, dear. Well, we never do that. Dare I ask who you might have drawn upon for inspiration? In fact, do not even answer that question.
Well,
do not even answer that
question. There is a certain man not sitting a million miles away from where we are now who had certainly watched, I watched him for how many years?
A long
have I been
time.
watching you, Charlie?
Yeah.
So I learned a lot from him. I have been a news junkie all my life. I had no television until I was 26, so I listened to the BBC radio news, and I still do every day.
And I still do as
Charlie
well,
does
every
too.
morning.
Religiously.
Terrific. And so there is a combination of people. Let me assure you, it is not Piers Morgan. He accused me of playing him in a restaurant one morning, so I was able to reassure him, not at all. And the next day we met, and he talked to me very openly and frankly about being a British journalist working on an American news program, which was very useful for us.
But people don't think of you as comedic, and you were really hilarious.
Yeah.
You have a bedroom scene.
Actor.
I know that. I know you're an actor, but I still don't think, when I say people, I'll say me. I don't think of you as being funny, necessarily. That's all.
No.
But it's called acting. I get it.
Yeah. I am associated with two roles largely in people's minds, Jean-Luc Picard and Charles Xavier.
Yes.
Upright, worthy,
Yes.
noble, intelligent, sensitive, compassionate, caring individuals.
Yes.
And that sort of stuck. But that's not me either. I'm a mess. I'm an absolute wreck. I'm hopeless.
Are you many things?
But here we had a chance with this man who is a very serious journalist, and indeed his ambition is to make a better world as a newsman. But his personal life, his private life, is a little chaotic.
In the first episode, Charlie, he's caught with a prostitute in the car, a transgender prostitute. I'm not giving anything away. And after he has this big scandal, he says, what journalist could I get to interview me? And they say on it, Charlie Rose.
Yay!
And then it says, well, you snubbed Charlie at the White House press correspondents' dinner, and he's very upset. I got such a kick when I heard Charlie's name.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, it was great.
At the moment, Charlie is competing with others for the most mentions on our show.
True.
Oh, my goodness.
It's true. But talk about your bedroom scene, what that was like.
Well,
Were you nervous?
it was a big day for me. I was
Were you?
terrified.
Not confident in your body?
Don't let's go there.
Okay.
Oh, she likes to go there.
I had never played that kind of scene before. This was, if I may say this on this show, this was my first post-coital scene that I had ever played.
Wow.
Not in my own life,
know
you
that.
understand,
Yes, I
but in
understand.
front
Not a
of
lot of
television
coitus in
cameras.
Star Trek, I guess.
Yes.
None.
None.
No, not for me
Outrageous.
anyway. Jonathan Frakes, every episode. And of course, need I mention Bill Shatner? But
So how do
and
you
then
get
I
ready?
learned that the actress playing opposite me would be the fabulous and beautiful Elizabeth Shue, which only frightened me even more that I had this actress I'd admired for so many years. But so I emailed 3 actress friends and said, what's the form? What do you do? How far can I go? I mean, if I kiss her, do I use tongue? Or is that, I mean, can I touch body parts? And so they all said, no, what you must be is as entertaining as possible.
How close are you and Ian McKellen?
Extremely close. We have known one another and one another's work for over 50 years. We come from the same part of England, the same corner of the north of England. We both love Shakespeare. We both gave many years of our lives to the Royal Shakespeare Company. And then a few years ago, we were thrown as close together as 2 actors can be to play Estragon and Vladimir in Waiting for Godot.
Great to have you here.
And
Thank
you're
you,
part of
Charlie.
Taylor Swift's squad, so you get some cool points with that.
Indeed, life is changing very fast.
I like it, Patrick Stewart. Congratulations.
Thank you
Talk
very
is
much, Gail.
Laugh out loud funny.
Thank you, Charlie.
It premieres Saturday on Stars.